friends, and welcome back to Bookmas. I have done it. I've read all of Sarah Adams' books, and I know a new one is coming out on New Year's Eve, and I could not be more happy for Madison's story in the When in Rome series. I have not pre-organized these. This is like the order of the series, but I have thoughts, I have feelings, and I, at the bare minimum, like all but one of her books. There is one book, my least favorite, that I actually think is bad, and we are about to jump in to my thoughts and feelings. Give me a moment to organize these. Okay, we've got them in order. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 books to go through. So I'm gonna not talk super in depth about them because otherwise we'd be here for a long time. If I was talking like 5 minutes on each of them, we'd be here for an hour, and I don't got that kind of time, and neither do you. Bottom of the barrel. I think I put these in the wrong order. Hold on. I did. I already messed up. Yes, okay. Bottom of the barrel, the worst book. This book I gave 2 stars, and I very rarely keep books that I rate under 3 stars. The only caveat if it's in the middle of a series, and it's the second book in the series, so therefore it stays. And that is The Temporary Roomie. I think this book is just not good on multiple levels. This is about our main character, Jessie. She owns a salon. She's a hairdresser, and she is experiencing an unplanned pregnancy, and there's a bunch of stuff going wrong at her house, and it's not currently livable, and she's approaching her due date, and her brother's best friend, who also happens to be an OBGYN, basically is the knight in shining armor. She's gonna go stay at his house until the renovations are done. Things just keep getting pushed back, and she has to pretend to be his girlfriend for a work event that's like his "you can stay with me if" type thing. But he actually gave me the ick so bad. The amount of times in this book, and it may have only been like 2 or 3, but 1 time is too many, if I'm being honest with you. Like, I already don't like the idea of a male OBGYN. I just don't. But the amount of times he talked about how he's like so hot, and like he only has like 1 tattoo that's hidden, but he can't get any more tattoos that are visible because like it would just make him so hot that his patients wouldn't be able to control themselves. Excuse me? Ugh. Vile, disgusting behavior, and I hated everything about it. So that's the worst one. Then number 10 on the list is The Enemy. I do like all of the rest of these, so it just happens to fall 10. This is book 2 in the Match series. This one was very in one ear, out the other. This is about June, and it's been 12 years since she's sworn herself to be enemies with this guy, Ryan. She also has had a crush on him this whole time. She's been holding a grudge over some petty nonsense. She also owns like a donut shop, which is pretty fun. She now has like an opportunity to get even with him. They're in town for June's best friend's wedding, along with a bunch of other classmates, and she wants to kind of show him what he missed out on in high school. And yeah, it was very kind of corny, if I'm being honest with you. I don't think it's that great. Not Sarah's best work. Those are the 2 that were like very easily towards the bottom. Same with this one, not like a super big favorite. This just duology is not my favorite, obviously, in general. And this is The Off Limits Rule, book 1, To the Temporary Roomie. This one is about Lucy. She has hit rock bottom. She feels like she's failing at everything just to be a good mom. Like, she's lost her career. She had to move back in with her older brother back home because she moved back from Atlanta back to Nashville. And she just kind of feels like she's backtracking in life just to take care of her son. And her brother is kind of like forcing her out of her shell, taking her to like do things with him and his friends and this, that, and the other thing. Then she starts to have feelings for her brother's best friend. She's also like a hairdresser. She works at the salon of like our girl in the first book. And though I love a single daddy trope, a single mommy trope just is not super for me. So that one would be number 9. Number 8 is To Catch a Suitor. These are this little like Takana Gentleman series. Is the only one that I don't think has been traditionally published. So I have these super cool indie copies. This is super cute. I am not one who likes Regency romance, but I did give both books in this series 4 stars. And obviously there's books by Sarah that I like less. This is about Elizabeth. She is sister to the male main character of book 1, and it is her season to basically come out to the world. One of her sisters is tasked with being her like escort, but her sister is pregnant, and it is a high-risk pregnancy because she has lost a previous pregnancy, and so she tasks Oliver, which is her brother's best friend, to assist Elizabeth in her courting. However, she has had a crush on Oliver her whole life, and he has secretly had a crush on her too. So he doesn't really want to escort her, and she doesn't want to go to any of these balls or to be courted by anybody but him. So it's super cute, super fun book, and that is followed directly by Takana Gentleman. This is book 1 in that series, and this is book 7 on my list. This is about our main character, Rose. And Rose is basically a con woman. She and this guy who like helped raise her, she calls him her uncle, have this like con that they put on where when there is a woman in society, typically like housemaids, servants, things like that, who have affairs with the princes, these like famous big high power people, then end up pregnant, they basically, Rose and her uncle will dress Rose up like that woman to go con the man out of a bunch of like hush money, essentially. So Rose goes into this con, knocks on the door. However, somebody gave her the wrong address, and little does she know she's knocking on the wrong door. So when this man Carver Ashburn, Earl of Kensworth, opens the door, she doesn't know that that's not who she's looking for. She does the whole scheme. He thinks like, what the heck is going on? I'm just gonna roll with it. And then she ends up in a really sticky web that she kind of got herself into, and it was really a fun book. Book 6, before we get into the top 5, is The Match, which means the top 5 is all 2 series, which makes sense because they're my favorite 2 series. This is The Match, book 1 from The Enemy, and this one is so good. We have disability rep in this book, which I think is super important. This is about Evie, and Evie has epilepsy, and she has a service dog to help alert for her seizures. She runs a company, or she works for a company that helps place these dogs with homes, and she gets an email from a guy named Jacob about meeting with him and his daughter, who also has epilepsy, to get her a service dog. So when she arrives and Jacob wasn't expecting her, she realizes that Jacob's daughter kind of set up this meeting without him knowing, because she really wants a service dog, and he and her mother are not sure if that's the best choice for her. So it is basically Evie is teaching him how wonderful service dogs can be for disabled people, and they may happen to fall in love. So good. So good. So then we're going to move into book 5. This is the middle book currently, book 2 in the When in Rome series. This is Practice Makes Perfect. This is about Annie, and Annie runs a flower shop, and she starts seeing our dude, what's his name? Will, the sexy tattooed guy. He is the bodyguard of the girl in book 1 in When in Rome, and he is in town basically protecting Amelia, and he and Annie start talking and getting to know each other. She's like the good girl, he's like the bad boy, and then they might fall in love. Super cute, really enjoy that one. Book number 4 is the rule book, book 2 in the cheat sheet series. This is about Nora, and she is like a what's like her job title? She's like an agent, like a sports agent, and her whole career basically is landing in the hands of this guy Derek, who was her college boyfriend. She is finally being given like big players as people she's representing, and when she finds out that it's him, she's like, oh boy, this is gonna go bad. So he kind of wants to get a little friendly revenge on her. If Nora, the first girl to break her heart, wants to be his agent, he'll let her, but he's going to be a pain in the rear end. So he's kind of pulling her one way and another, sending her on all of these like wild goose chases for the whole book, just to try to get revenge, and seeing them come back together is obviously always super cute and fun. And then we're moving into the top 3. Book number 3 is When in Rome, the first book. This is the first ever Sarah Adams book that I read. This is about Amelia, known to her fans as Ray Rose. She is a famous singer. And one night, she's just kind of over it. She wants to get the hell out of Dodge. She loves watching Audrey Hepburn movies, and she decides she is just going to type in Rome in her phone and drive to the closest Rome. That Rome, you may ask? Rome, Kentucky. So when her car breaks down outside of the town's golden boy Noah's house, he invites her in, offers her a place to stay, and helps her get her car back to being fixed, and so on and so forth. This is where we really meet all of Noah's sisters, the pie shop, everybody in town, like the little old ladies, and all of the shenanigans that are happening in Rome, Kentucky, and it is super cute. I loved it. It's the perfect way to do a celebrity small town romance. IMO. Book 2, which will also give away book 1, is The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. This is a book where I think it was also very deeply right book, right time. This is a friends to lovers trope. We have our main character, Bree. She's a ballerina, and she has her own little ballet studio. It's not doing great, but she's trying her best to make ends meet. She is also best friends with Nathan, who is on the NFL, and the only issue is she can't admit that she has big fat feelings for him. She had gotten into an accident and ended her chances of ever being a professional ballerina, so that's why she's running this ballet school. And no matter how many times Nathan tries to give her money to help, she refuses. You know, the classic. He swoops in and buys the entire building, but she decides she's gonna go along with it, and they're accidentally seen out together, and people start to think that they are a couple, so they have to fake date, but really they both like each other. So he and his friends, when he lets them know how he's really feeling, help develop a actual cheat sheet on how to get her to fall in love with him, but he doesn't know she already is. So good. And then my favorite book is Beg, Borrow, Steal, her most recent book. This is about Emily, and Emily is me, I am she. I cried in this book quite a bit. Emily is the stereotypical, like, oldest daughter, like the one who needs to protect her siblings, be there for them, be the strong one, be the tough one, be the perfectionist, have everything together all the time, even though she is crumbling on the inside. And I'm like, that's me. So she has perfectly crafted her world. She is a teacher. She and her siblings all lost their parents when they were quite young, and she has kind of held it together for all of her siblings all of these years. And now she's reaching a point where she kind of can't keep it all together anymore. She has a rival at work named Jack. He's another teacher, and he moved away. However, now he's back, and he is her neighbor, and she has this dream of writing romance novels, and she's kind of trying to turn the whole town against him and drive him out of town because she can't stand him. But secretly, maybe that's not so true. He's trying to renovate his house, and she's like to all the contractors in town, don't help him, don't work with him, nope, we don't do that around here. And so now they have this fun little petty game of sabotage with each other, which is so cute, and their chemistry is so good, and it was just such a banger. And like I said, I can't wait for Madison's story coming up hot on New Year's Eve, and I will be getting it ASAP. But this is my definitive Sarah Adams ranking. What do you guys think? Have you read all of them? What do you think? What's your favorite? What's your favorite of the ones you have read if you have not read them all? Let me know, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!